Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently going to have to take this financial report. I don't think there's a way around it. However, if we hop into the mech bay, we'll find a shiny new Blackjack in here that's ready to be refit, and that is definitely something that we want to do. So we'll go ahead and refit this. It does have that sweet extended torso twist. We've got a couple of Gauss ammo here. Do we even have a Gauss rifle though? I don't believe that we do. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, we don't. I mean, this is an Omni mech, so we can pretty much put whatever we want on this, which is pretty great. We're going to ditch the Gauss ammo. We're going to ditch the LRM ammo as well. And this has currently got an XL200 engine in it. It does also have a C3 system, and I think that's okay. We'll keep that for now. The jump jet we will ditch. And what do we want to put in this? Well, first off, obviously, I want to max the armor. Secondly, I am actually interested in putting ferrofibrous armor on here. Now, that does use a lot of slots, and we need to think about whether we actually want that to be the case. I do want to look at our engine situation with the heat sinks. Let's see here. It is actually over here. Okay. Yeah, we need at least 2 heat sinks on here. That's fine. We are running standard heat sinks. And the question is that something that we want? I mean, we only have the 2 heat sinks right now. So that is definitely something that we can do. But, I mean, the heat efficiency on this thing is probably not going to be great. What is our sinking right now as is? 30 heat, yeah. So that's not great. Now that bombast laser that we salvaged can improve either range or damage. That is actually pretty good. Maybe we run a bombast laser, and then we still have 18 tons to work with on this thing. This is a very flexible mech, and I'd like to keep this guy around for a while, so I want to put on things that are fairly standoffish and fire supporty. We don't have that many options right now, to be clear. We could put on ER mediums. I don't think, in terms of heat efficiency, that makes sense. We could put on a pair of LRM 15s. And that almost does make sense. Put on a long fire. And we could put, say, in this arm, we could put another LRM 15. And then we'd still have 4.5 tons remaining. We, in the future, could maybe put on additional heat sinks. I mean, we're definitely going to have heat issues. We don't have any heat sinks that we can work with right now. But what we can do is we can put on some LRM ammo. And I think we'll just put on standard LRM ammo for now, like this. We still have 2.5 tons to work with. For that half ton, we could put in just a small laser just to get that under control. We could drop the ferrofibrous. We could always put the ferrofibrous back on once we get other weapons. Yeah, I think this mostly works. Then we have 0.6 tons to work with. We could drop the small laser and put in perhaps another ton of LRM ammo. I would like to put in a more specific LRM ammo type, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Thunder or Swarm. And I feel like Narc LRMs in this particular mech aren't going to be tremendously useful. So I think I'm just going to put in another ton of standard ammo. I don't like it. We'll have to revisit that later. There's a lot of things about this mech that we will have to revisit later. So overall, I think this is okay. We're going to have heat issues. I want to check to see, do we have anything to put in those specialist slots? We do have bolt-in eye rockets, or bolt-on eye rockets, rather. I would kind of prefer those to be on a different mech, though. Because of that optimal range, I feel like those are going to be more efficient on a mech that gets in close, like, say, the Stiletto. If we can get it on the Stiletto, that is. I don't know that we can. But this would be okay for now. This is not going to be the final loadout for this Blackjack by any means. I'm also potentially interested in putting a different FCS in this. Offensive push accuracy and breaching shot. That's not actually great. So I don't think that's tremendously useful, and it would take a ton. The FCS standard does take a ton as well, though. So I think we'll leave this as is. We're going to need better FCS in this. We're going to need ideally better sensors as well, even a better cockpit. More heat sinks, possibly converting it over to double heat sinks, and just better weapons for it. But for now, I think this will do. These machine gun arrays, okay, that's a 2-ton machine gun array. That's a half a ton. Okay, we'll call this good. We'll confirm that. That'll cost us a little bit, and we will prioritize work on the Blackjack. So the Blackjack and the Centurion. Now, I do want to potentially... maybe we put those bolt-ons on the Firestarter. But let's go ahead and tick forward for now. We are going to take this financial report, and that's okay.
I've got the financial report.
Yeah, this was fully expected. It was always going to be the case. We will stay on normal. Okay. Structural reinforcement will be finishing up right now. Our cash is a little on the low side, so we're probably going to be looking for a cheaper upgrade rather than, say, Mech Bay 3 that we can't afford right now, but maybe a refit harness for an additional tech point. Actually, what is the cheapest tech point that we can get? That's 162. This one is 2.5 million. Yeah. 720k, that's not ideal. Storage space is a good upgrade, don't get me wrong. And yeah, that's not amazing. I think the best option here is to go for the refit harness.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit.
We'll get started on that, and we will tick forward here while we work on our mech repairs. We do only have the 2 mech bays, so I'm actually going to move the Centurion down here in priority. The Stiletto is now complete, and I want to take a look at the Stiletto. Let's see what we've got here. Can we fit 3.5 tons? We can't fit those bolt-ons on the Stiletto. Sad, because that's 4 tons. I mean, we could put the heavy industrial armor on here rather than the ferrofibrous. And in fact, that would put us at exactly 0 tons. Indeed it would. Which would allow us to put the bolt-on on this. Like so. And in fact, we've still got room for another specialist slot, if we had something to put in there. Yeah, I think this is good. Do it. That'll take 2 days. That is fine. I do not mind this. Let's prioritize the Stiletto, and let's go ahead and tick forward a bit here. Okay, our mech warriors are now back. The Vulcan is done. The refit harness is now done as well. So let's go ahead and go for, I think, repair scaffolding next. Our funds are dwindling, and I'm aware of this. But that's okay. Let's allow the Raven to finish. Okay, it's going to be 11 days until the Centurion is done. Do we want to wait on that? That will mean the Blackjack and Centurion are done. That said, the Vulcan apparently needs a little work. We'll go ahead and hit that repair button. Actually, I'm going to stop that work, and we'll take a look at this. I think literally all that needs to happen is we repair this leg here. Yeah, everything else is good. That'll actually, if we do it in here, this will take no money and take 0 days. Okay, I don't know what the difference is, but now we don't need to work on the Vulcan. And you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and deploy here, just because I'm getting a little antsy about our cash amount. So let's go through our mech warriors here, see if anybody else can get Bandit, because that would be amazing if they could. Actually, yes, Overhead can get Bandit. Do it.
Training complete.
Scrub can also get Bandit. Amazing. Do it.
Mech warrior training.
And Wildfire cannot. Okay, so let's go ahead and deploy to something relatively straightforward here. Not anything complicated like we've been doing. Honestly, something like this is probably okay. It's not much pay. It's decent salvage. Maybe we just run it here and take a little bit of money to cover our costs and mostly do salvage. And then we'll not bring overhead, and we will bring the fire starter. Do we have anybody who has affinities in the fire starter? Have we run the fire starter? I don't think we have. So we'll run Death Crusade in the fire starter. Perfect. Yes, I'm aware. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty simple battle here, and yeah, our drop cost is going to be 54k. That's going to be, you know, like a third of our pay. But we're mostly going for salvage here. We need to get a lot of parts going, and being able to sell parts is fine too. So that'll be just fine, and maybe we'll be able to get another vehicle. That would be a nice thing to be able to drop, since we are currently not hitting our drop weight limit. Although once we start getting a couple more mediums, we might start getting kind of close to that, especially if we start getting a couple of medium vehicles as well. For now, of course, we need to destroy pirate units. Commander, we're trying to safely transport injured personnel to one of our facilities on outreach. Unfortunately, satellite surveillance has shown pirate units operating in the region we're expecting to move our medical convoy through. We need a mercenary lance to sweep the area and eliminate any pirate units. Please think of this contract as a mission of mercy. I don't believe that mission of mercy line for a second, but there isn't anything here to be concerned about, so I'm expecting 36 Atlases if Darius isn't concerned. Well, let's see what we've got. We do have allies. Okay. The enemies are up over here. I think we probably move up the road into this cover over this way. Maybe we advance. Oh, that's the edge of the map. Okay. So they're actually over here. I was expecting them to be over here, but this is the edge of the map. So they're actually up over here. In which case, maybe we advance over through here and use this cover. Well, let's see what we've got here, shall we?
Okay.
Our allies.
Stay front.
Well, actually, that's... What is that? Rude!
Armor's holding, Commander.
Okay, so that is an Oscout. And we see a couple more units over there. Our allies are a Pack Rat, a J. Edgar, a Lightning, and a second J. Edgar. So not anything tremendously huge there. And we're waiting for our movement calculations on the Stiletto, looks like. There we go. So we can sprint our Stiletto off over this direction, and that might not be the worst idea. That Oscout only has a single energy weapon. Yeah, I think we come up into this side flank, like... Oh, I prefer to get one hex forward here. Unfortunately, this is the best we got.
Acknowledged.
We'll position here. That does give us eyes on this guy. And we're not going to fire our rockets or our bolt-on rocket here. The hit odds are just too low.
On it.
We'll just get a little bit in there in terms of SRMs. Excellent. The Oscout moves again. Interesting. And it gets out of there.
Got your back.
Okay, the Vulcan is going to sprint forward, but it can't get into LOS, so we'll just position here.
Yeah.
The Firestarter is also going to sprint forward, but it can't get into LOS, so it's going to position here. We know there's at least 4 mechs out here. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
Our Raven is going to come up over this way.
On the move.
We're mostly just positioning right now. Our allies are moving up. Our Scimitar is going to be our scout vehicle. And it's going to move up over here and see what it can see. Nothing. It can see nothing. Okay, the Pack Rat moves up, does not fire. Well, something's firing. Streak SRMs, maybe? I'm guessing those were streaks. Okay, and the J. Edgar moves up. We just exited combat. Fascinating. And then entered combat again, I believe. Yeah, we have re-entered combat. So we're going to position the Stiletto here.
You got it. Going flat out.
And I think the rear arc on 27% is good enough. that we will attempt to kill this Oscout in a single attack. Okay, we didn't manage to,
I am out of SRS.
but not bad. That was a lot of damage to the rear arc of that Oscout.
Orders.
Our Raven is going to move up and join in on the rear arc attack.
Roger that. Full speed.
Light him up. I want these to be Deadfire SRMs. And I want that Narc launcher to fire first, just on the off chance that it actually hits.
Firing full
It didn't.
coverage.
However, we did hit with one of those, and we'll take that.
Yes,
The
Commander.
Firestarter is also going to move up here, and I think we just go ahead and sit in this fire.
Let's move.
I don't really like it, but I'm okay with it. And this would overheat us. I'm going to not fire two of these flamers. That is a lot of damage to that Oscout.
Oh, nice hit on that one.
Perfect. And then we're going to move up with our Vulcan here. The Vulcan can't get into LOS just yet, so we're just going to position down here where it's quasi-safe. And our allies are going to move up. Oh no, machine guns on the Firestarter. So that happened. It'd be hilarious to have... Oh, they were going for the rear arc on the Raven there. Okay. It'd be hilarious if they had a, like, ridiculously lucky through armor critical on the Firestarter there that caused the flamer ammo to explode, or the AMS ammo to explode, and killed the mech with just a single machine gun hit. Oh, that would be funny. We're going to move up with the Scimitar here and finish off that Oscout. I want it dead.
Copy that.
And that's a pilot ejection. Okay, we'll take that. Somebody firing on that Wasp there. Wait, a Wasp with a autocannon or a rifle? What variant is that? I want to take a look at that. Yeah, it's got a ballistic weapon there. Okay, interesting. We're going to take the Raven over and perform the legendary Raven rear arc melee attack, as you do. No, not there. There. Punch it.
Copy that.
Okay, we missed with the legendary Raven rear arc melee attack, but that's fine.
Failed to connect.
We did a fair amount of rear arc damage there on that Wasp, so that's perfect. The Wasp moves again. Fires on the Firestarter, misses again with whatever that ballistic weapon is. But look at his positioning. It's, pretty dead. The Vulcan can just go right in.
Waiting for order.
So, with that in mind, the Stiletto is going to come in to rear arc of this Chandra, and we're just going to light this guy up with everything we've got.
Yes,
It has no weaponry left. So that's a thing. Ah, yeah, that sweet, sweet 9 damage. And actually, the Chandra's just dead. Super easy so far.
One more for the trash heap.
Well, we expected this to be super easy, to be fair. Okay, doing some rear arc damage to that Wasp.
Systems are holding.
We'll accept that.
Talk to me.
The Vulcan is, at this point, not, I think, able to get into a... Oh, it can get into a rear arc punch. I'm actually shocked. Light him up.
Affirmative. To hell with the weapons. Punch right through the arm.
Okay, we didn't manage to hit with the autocannons, but it didn't really matter. We managed to punch right through the armor and eject. Fantastic. Well, that was easy.
Mission successful.
That was perhaps the easiest 150k we've ever made. I mean, we knew it was going to be super easy, right? That was kind of the point of taking this. Our mediums are still being repaired, other than the Vulcan. But, yeah, that was pretty good. I'm very happy with that. In terms of damage, it's not going to cost hardly anything. We kind of aren't very interested in any of these parts. An Engine Core 280, on the other hand, that I'm interested in. Even an Engine Core 180, I'm interested in. And maybe a standard fusion engine just for resale value? And we'll roulette the rest here. A couple of machine guns, we'll keep those around. The Engine Core 120, sure. The 180, we're going to sell because we have one in stock. The 280, we're going to keep, absolutely. Internal combustion engine, get out of here. The heatsink, oh, we're definitely keeping a heatsink. The jump jets, they can get out of here. Standard heatsink cooling, we've got some of those. A standard fusion engine, we're of course going to sell. And 3 generic structures, get out of here. But a half ton of machine gun ammo, that might be useful. We're going to keep that. Overall, I'd call that very, very profitable. And that should be pretty close to getting us through the next financial report. I mean, we're going to make it through the next financial report. We always were going to. But that should get pretty close to paying for the next financial report. So the question is, how much do we want to invest in terms of time in getting our mediums back online? Yeah, absolutely. Do that, Yang. I think this is okay. I think this is completely fine. Let's go ahead and tick forward here. Kel has done a request here. He needs Dr. Murad's expertise to study a rare piece of lost tech. If you can grant me a week, 500,000 C-bills, and a dozen mech techs, I think we can really help him. Not a bad potential ally. I'll give her our support, but not our resources. We got a double heatsink out of it. Okay, that's sure. We'll take that. A free double heatsink is great. I just didn't want to actually pay the cash for it. Not right now, anyway. So the Blackjack is going to go ahead and get repaired. There we go. And the Senshi has 4 days and will be repaired at the same time as the repair scaffolding. Okay. I think that's fine. We tick forward there. We get to deploy another time before the financial report. Let's go ahead and get another engineering upgrade going, and I want it to be something quite cheap, like perhaps this structure space. Reducing the monthly upkeep by 5% is definitely something that is worth doing. So we'll do that. It's a cheap upgrade, and we're kind of saving up at this point for Mech Bay 3. Okay, so let's check in on the Mech Bay, make sure nothing is broken. The Centurion is a little broken. Let's see what it needs. Okay, that's it? Sure. Just had to replace the hip.
Right.
Okay, that's done. And everything is good to go, so we are ready to deploy again. It's a little early in the episode to end it, but it's also a little late to deploy again. So I'm just going to go through and check for Mech Warrior training here, and then put in a cut. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to be a little early, but we'll go ahead and put in a cut here. And next episode, we'll deploy again pretty much immediately, probably go for a little bit more complicated of a mission. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.